8:07, Kim Hunt in the studio with me, my guest co-host for the morning. How you liking the show so far, Kim?
I love it.
Yeah? It's interesting, isn't it, huh?
It is.
Coming up at 8:50, Tyra Martin and the Hollywood Hookup, everybody. You don't want to miss that. Right now, you know him as the Truth Fighter, syndicated radio host, and a lot of you just know him as Warren Ballantyne from the south side of Chicago. He is on the live line with us right now. Was supposed to be on yesterday, Warren. You know how many people called me up and was like, "Where's Warren yesterday?" He was supposed to be on the show yesterday, but we got him on today.
I want to apologize to you. I want to apologize to the people of Chicago. It's just been a hectic time, man. And, I texted you and told you what was going on. But, this is the first show that I'm even talking about what's going on the air, man. So I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you coming on. You and I talked in North Carolina, of course, and immediately after these charges were filed. Give our listeners, and a lot of them are fans of yours, of course, your syndicated show, broadcasted on WVON. Now, let me get everything straight. Have you been off the air ever since these charges have been filed against you?
I've been off the air ever since these bogus charges have been filed against me. And let me say this, man. Let me say this in all sincerity. I'm innocent of everything they accuse me of. I've been railroaded. I've been taken off the air because that's what people wanted to do. I mean, and I'm just going to keep it real. If I was Rush Limbaugh or some white boy, I would have still been on the air. But because I was not a white boy, they immediately pulled me off the air. And what's amazing about all this, as we talk about this, I'm going to break this down for everybody. What's amazing to me about all this, Matt, is how many people have ran away like I got the plague or something. I mean, people who I thought were brothers didn't even call me or text me to see, hey, are you okay? Is your family okay? I mean, it's crazy how many people who you think would be there for you have not even contacted me to see if I was alive or well or anything.
Yeah, that's because they're jealous of your popularity and your success, man. They're looking for an opportunity to slide in your time slot. That's what that is.
Well, I ain't even talking about those cats. I'm talking about just regular people who I've done business with, people who were advertising, people who've done other things. I mean, just regular people, man. And I will say this, man. When all this went down, I had so many of the listeners hit me on Facebook and Twitter and say, look, man, we believe in you. We know what's going on. We know this is wrong. And, Matt, part of the reason I've waited so long to say anything is because I wanted to get all of the stuff that the Department of Justice alleged that I had done, because really we didn't even know what they were alleging until we got everything. And finally we have everything. And basically this is what they're telling.
Now,
this is what I'm charged with.
Hey, Warren, are you on speakerphone?
Hold on, let me do this.
Yeah, grab right quick.
Is that better?
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, go over the charge. So they got you on what is it? They have charged you with 2 counts of bank fraud, 2 counts of making false statements to lenders, and 1 count of mail fraud and 1 count of wire fraud. Now I'll let you respond to that.
Okay, let me start off by saying this. Basically, what they indicted me on was saying that if I didn't know what these people were doing, I should have known what they were doing, because these people were buying houses and not moving in the house. Well, we didn't know what really was going on until we got all the evidence. Now that we have the evidence, let me tell you what's going on. This woman, Wanda Rivera Burton, and God bless her, I'm praying for her because I thought she was a legit person and a nice person. This woman was getting buyers to buy houses who really weren't going to live in the house. I had no idea she was doing this. Now, the thing that happened that really upset me about all this is they reported I was a part of a $9 million scheme. Let me tell you what happened here. Wanda Rivera Burton was making, from what they've given us, from the evidence that we've seen, she was making almost $10,000 a transaction off of this. The home buyers were making $3,000 to $5,000 a transaction off of this. You know how much money I made off of this, Matt? I made $300. $300 to $500 a closing. That's it. In a 3-year period, this woman and Bobby Brown did over 150 of these closings, right? They charged me with 20-something of these closings. Now, part of the reason that I didn't do all the closings is because I was not a real estate attorney. And in fact, the only reason I was doing the closings is because at the time, Bobby Brown lived next door to me. This is how I met Bobby, and then Wanda was doing something for my mom. That's how I met her. And they were calling me the day of the closings, asking me, hey, can you do the closings? Well, a lot of times I was getting to the closings late. So they had already done the paperwork. And for everybody who may be listening who does not live in Illinois, when you buy a house in Illinois, the lawyer does none of the paperwork. So I didn't know where the buyer lived, where they worked, what income they had. I didn't know any of that. All I did was come to the closing to make sure that the seller's documents were right. And basically, the feds are saying, well, you should have known they wasn't going to live in the house. Well, hey, I didn't do their paperwork. I didn't do their mortgage. I didn't do any of that. And they lied. The buyers lied. Wanda lied. Everybody was in on the line. Everybody making thousands of dollars. I'm sitting there making a regular attorney fee, but I'm the one who should have known what was going on.
So, I mean, what has been the response from the prosecutors when, this evidence has got to be obvious that you weren't making millions of dollars off of these closings?
Dude, this is the crazy part, right? The crazy part is this. Look, anybody who's ever been in the criminal system, especially a federal criminal system, now, check this out. If I'm part of a $9 million scheme, they ain't froze none of my bank accounts. They took none of my assets. They haven't. I got an I bond. They gave me a signature bond to get out on bond. I didn't have to put up no money for bond because literally, even in their documentation, they say I didn't make no money. But what they're saying is that I knew because this woman, Wanda Rivera Burton, is saying that I knew. Now, this is the kicker, though. Wanda Rivera Burton is out on bail right now, and as long as my case is alive, she stays out. So of course she's gonna say I knew what was going on. And this is the craziest thing in the world to me because as the more and more I look at this, the more and more I'm convinced that not only is this purposely being done to me, but anybody looking at this can see that Wanda Rivera Burton is lying. They can see the bias. If you ever bought a house, I didn't meet the people who were buying the house to the day of closing. Now some of these closings were 30 days apart, 45 days apart. You know how many people I would see in that time frame? I don't know these people personally. They're not friends of mine. I didn't refer any of these people. So how am I going to remember these people when I come in here and do? I mean, it's just it's a mess, and it's a mess that didn't have to be. That's what it is.
And I've talked to several attorneys about this, and they've said the exact same things. And anybody who's bought a house, they know exactly what the closing attorney does. So I think you're speaking to a lot of people who are shaking their head in agreement with you on this. And the thing that kind of stands out to me on this issue is when you talk about the federal government, you talk about money, you talk about a $9 million scheme. What I do not see a charge on you about income tax filing false income taxes, because the kicker would be that they think that you did get some money from this scheme under the table and you didn't file any of this information on your income tax. See, that would be to me the true indication that they really think something is up, that you were a beneficiary of this scheme, because they will go after you on the taxes. That would be their priority charge on you more than anything. That's how they brought down Al Capone. They will go after taxes if they really thought you were a beneficiary. But like you said, they know that you weren't a financial beneficiary. So then what is the real motive to go after Warren Ballentine other than the fact that you are a syndicated talk radio show host and you are a truth fighter?
Look, man, let me tell you, the funniest thing, as we was reading the evidence, you got people talking about a conversation from 2004 and talking about, I remember word for word what the conversation was from 2004. I don't even remember a conversation I had with somebody 2 months ago, let alone 10 years ago. Now, this is the kicker part, right? It is no recordings of me doing anything. It's no money nowhere of me doing anything. All they got is Wanda Rivera Burton saying that I knew what was going on. And this is what she told them. The reason why I knew what was going on and wasn't saying anything because I was doing so many closings. What kind of fool would I be where you making $10,000 a closing, I'm making $300 a closing, and I'm just, you giving me $300, I'm happy with that. And I'm going to risk my law license and everything that I worked so hard for in my life? That's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Kim, you're shaking your head over there, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. It's our criminal justice system at work, you know.
Selective prosecution.
Yeah, and you know, I think about the hundreds of thousands of black folks who don't have access to lawyers and all of that to even defend their name.
I mean, but Kim, let me tell you what's worse. This is the part that hurts my heart. The part that hurts my heart is this. You know, I will say this. A lot of the affiliate stations that I was on, a lot of the owners of those stations has reached out to me and said, look, man, we done looked at this. We know this is some crap. If you get back on the air, we're going to pick you up immediately.